We'll go ahead and be completing the first assignment in the formatting unit in this video. So if you make your way to Schoology, you can see and get into business applications and then go down to Unit 2. I've opened it up, Unit 2 formatting, and here's my first set of instructions. So they pair up with your textbook. So essentially your textbook is the answer, and you're looking here for specific instructions to have it come out. So as we open this one, we can see here Psychology of Money, and it gives us a few things it wants us to do with the text. So you really have two ways to go about it. I like to set it as I go. You could also type the whole thing and then come back and do all the customization with the font size. This should be review for everyone, but if it isn't, that's okay. Just make sure you take in this information. As we look at the icon on the top left, we see that indicates that we're going to be doing this assignment in Google Sheets. All the features also work in Microsoft Word. For practice purpose in this video and for your assignment, you're going to be completing it in Google Documents. If I said Sheets earlier, I apologize. This is, of course, Google Documents. I'm going to go ahead and get a new tab in my web browser. I'm going to come over here and I want to launch Docs. Notice I'm signed in already. If you're not signed in, you might want to do that to make sure everything lines up correctly. I'm going to do a blank document, and I'm going to start with the title in right away, which you can find at the bottom of the instructions. We always put our title in the center at the bottom of our documents just to keep everything organized and easy to find for you and for the teachers. So this is formatting assignment number 1, Psychology of Money. Then I can click into the document, and of course the keys with these is a review of this toolbar up here, change in fonts, font size, and alignment, left, center, right, and justify, which makes each side even like you would read in a novel or magazine. I'm going to start with my title. So if I look at the instructions, it says Impact 24, center align. So I'm going to come up here, look for Impact 24. They should appear in alphabetical order. So I'm Impact, size 24. And again, if you struggle with the fonts, they will show recent, but then they also show in alphabetical order. So you should be able to find everything pretty easily. The next thing it asks me is to center. So I come up here and hit center align. You will find in Google Documents, if you use a smaller device, it compresses this toolbar. So if it disappears on you, usually there's an arrow to turn on the menus or spread them out up here so you can find all the features. So it looks like I'm in all caps. And turning off all caps for this, Money 101. Then I can see by looking at the instructions that it changes in the next font layer. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the instructions. And this says Comic Sans 18, center align. I'm still center aligned, and then I'm going to go to Comic Sans and size 18. And then enter in the subtitle there. I'm going to enter down twice because I can see a double space built into it, and if I look on the document, I can see that I have a paragraph upcoming. So let's go ahead and jump back to the instructions. It says Times New Roman, says size 12, and to justify. So I'm going to go back to justify, and then Times New Roman, size 12. So I have the correct font. Now remember, justify, the purpose of using that, it makes both sides of the document look like something like you would see in a textbook or novel, nice and neat on each side. I've entered the text, and again you can see the nice even right border with that justify item. And then I'm going to come back, double check here, Comic Sans, size 10, align right. So again, text is in. Notice now it's in recent, so I can go down here, and these are in alphabetical. So I can just click the recent one and size 10. And this was, if I look at the sample, a space down, so I'm going to enter one more time, and I'm going to align right. and then enter in the text. And it looks like we enter down one more time here. Let's take a look, and it says Comic Sans left align size 8. So I'm going to switch to align left and size 8. I'm still in Comic Sans. Invest in yourself. And there we have it. We have the completed document as it appears in your instructions. And then we need to put our name on everything. So I go to Insert. And again, we're in Google Docs. So I'm going to go to, it says header and page number, but that's actually where we find the footer option. I'm going to select footer. And I'm just going to put my name is on the left, always first and last. Tab over till I'm about the middle. This doesn't have a tab set like Microsoft Office, which just goes right to the middle, so you'll have to tab a couple times. Then put the name of your assignment, which usually appears at the bottom of the instructions. This is Formatting 1, Psychology of Money. And then I just tab over and insert my date. So this is Business Applications, whatever block you're in, and then the current date. So for me, it's 8/27. And if it does kick you down to the second line, we want that footer all on one line. So just delete one of the extra tabs in there, and it'll get you back to one line like it should be. Sometimes you may have to delete a little extra. And then we, as just like when we were working in Word, we just double click back here and we're out of the footer. And I can just double click back in there to work on it. So that's your completed Psychology of Money assignment. You will submit these all in a group, so once it's completed, you can go on to the next assignment. It is not submitted individually. All of the Unit 2 will be combined together.